welcome back to Date with the Divas. Happy New Year. It is a new year for us. We took a little break, but we are back and we can't wait to get to this tea. But before we do that, please remember to click on our subscribe button if you haven't already. Remember to like our videos if you dig in our information. And don't forget, grab your beverage, because you know we be giving you some tea, yo. All right, Ms. Marnita, hook us up.
Hey everybody, happy 2024. We took a little break and a lot happened. And so we're gonna get into a little bit that happened this past week. So award season has kicked off with the Golden Globes. Did anybody watch it? Okay, not a lot of Golden Globe
on and off. I didn't watch 100%. On and off.
Yeah, I watched some. It's an award show. I got to watch a little bit, but I did catch Joe Coy's opening monologue, and I sent y'all the link. Yes. I'm not sure if y'all watched it. Joe Coy is a comedian. Apparently, he got the gig 10 days before the show, according to him. He's out there giving his opening monologue, and it seemed to fall flat a little bit. People wasn't really laughing. I was feeling sorry for him as I was watching it. At one point, he goes off script and says, I just got this gig 10 days ago. What y'all expect? A perfect monologue? And then he says, I wrote some of these jokes, and the ones that I wrote, y'all are laughing at. It was a weird.
You heard laughs?
I
heard laughs. Yeah, I heard laughs.
But
it was some,
Yeah, it was some laughs and some mixed things. But I want to get into two of the jokes that he made that caused a little controversy. The first one was, it mentioned Taylor Swift. Let's say that. Koy says, we're airing on CBS. We're airing after 2 NFL games. And the difference between the Golden Globes and CBS is that at the Golden Globes, there'll be fewer camera cutaways to Taylor Swift. So camera cuts away to Taylor Swift in the audience. She's taking a little sip of her drink. She's making a little face. We got some photos there. So it was kind of a chilly response. And then Twitter is like, oh, Joe Coy is making jokes about Taylor Swift. What do you divas think? Do you think that he was poking fun at Taylor Swift? He says he was poking more fun at the NFL and how they cut the camera to her. Do you think that this was a tasteless joke? What do you guys think? Or do you not care?
This particular one, if we're talking just for this particular one, yeah, he's digging at her. I mean, she's part of the joke that he was talking about. So of course, yeah, it's about her. It's about the NFL. It's about her guy. It's the whole compilation of them. Okay, fine. Was it tasteless? I mean, those monologues are kind of like a roast.
Yeah.
Call it. So,
everybody's fair game.
I kind of feel some of his, and we're just talking about this one, but I feel there were some that are a little bit more tasteless.
Okay, we're gonna get into a couple more. So
yeah.
But anybody else have thoughts on this one here?
I felt like the joke was fair because I had heard there was this controversy about something he said about Taylor Swift. But when I listened to it, I thought it was a very innocent joke. It wasn't at her expense. She's not the one broadcasting her face at these games.
Yeah.
I just feel like, Taylor, come on, like, have a sense of humor a little bit about yourself. I just don't
especially when it's the truth.
I know.
No lies are told. No lies are told.
All season, that's what people. Is Taylor going to be on? Is Taylor going to be on? So I thought, it was apropos.
Right.
You would think that herself would be tired of the camera constantly cutting to her versus watching her man play the game. You know what I mean? Like, girl, don't you see the ridiculousness of it all?
Thank you.
Just smile and wave.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said. She should have said smile and wave and not really take.
And you know what she should have did? She should have did something like,
there you go.
Right.
That's your moment.
I feel like when you're an A-list celebrity at an award show, you have to be ready to laugh. Whether you think the joke is funny or not, you have to be ready to just laugh.
Like she could have got up, take a bow, be like, "Hey, yep,
Thank you.
I be on NFL. I'm a football player." I mean, getting props from. Again, that's not her control.
And I was giving her a kind of a break, like, maybe she didn't really hear the whole thing. You have people talking.
You giving her a little grace.
And that's one thing Joe has said. He was on KTLA Morning News the following morning, and they were talking, and he was like, I don't even know if she heard the joke. Like, people are there, they're talking, they're eating their dinner, they're
on their phone, because that's what the guy clearly next to her was doing.
On the phone?
Glare, and then took a sip of her drink and stared right at him. She heard
But the thing is that I didn't even hear the joke when I watched the clip. So when did he say this?
He said it. I heard the monologue. It wasn't during the monologue.
No, it was a little after the monologue. But I mean, I agree with Antrice. She needs to have if you're going to attend, you're a nominee, you're fair game.
Most definitely.
I mean, it's like going to a comedy show and sitting in the front row. You're going to get roasted.
And wearing a bright orange dress.
Just be polite. I thought some of his other jokes were a little bit more, and the punchline of those jokes, they laughed because they were
Robert
just kind
De Niro could laugh about his 80-year-old sperm.
Thank you.
So I just think that she needs to kind of chill, and her fans or whatever, her Swifties, they need to chill too. Like, come on.
There was a lot of backlash. We have like some of the tweets. We're not going to have time to go through all of them, but we have some of the tweets that, just kind of fueling the fire. But we keep bringing up other jokes. I'm going to go ahead and go into some of these. One of the other jokes that was controversial. And then if you guys are thinking of any other ones, let's talk about those as well. But he brought up the Barbie movie. He says, he started off by saying Oppenheimer was a movie that was about a book, and Barbie was based on a doll with big boobs. And so everyone's like, oh, how sexist. You missed the point of the movie. What do you guys think about this?
It wasn't full of satire. Okay. So the movie itself was full of satire.
There is Margot Robbie.
Didn't he even give a slide at Margot Robbie and what's his name? Ryan, the dude.
Gosling.
Yeah, he made something about staring into his eyes, or it just was all just flat to me.
I mean, he was just trying to grab jokes, I mean, in the jokes, you're not necessarily trying to be politically correct. You're trying to get a laugh.
Right. Like, we have some of the responses up here, and one says, Joe Koy's joke about the Barbie movie is exactly why the Barbie movie was made, which is true. But the Barbie movie, because I happened to watch it that same night, it poked fun at itself. It poked fun at the whole idea of Barbie. So it's like, again, he's a comedian. He's poking fun at it. And even Greta Gerwig, the director of Barbie, in an interview later on, said, well, he's not wrong. Barbie was the first doll that was mass produced with boobs. So, yes, it was based on that. Yes, the movie went into different themes, but at the surface of it, for a joke, for a 10-minute monologue, I don't think he was trying to be sexist. That's my personal opinion.
This is why comedians don't want to take these jobs anymore, because they get critiqued every 2 seconds.
Get caught in their feelings too tough.
At
this that's why 10 days before the show they didn't have
exactly
right. This part, at this point, they a robot be the host.
AI gonna be next. It's gonna be AI.
Right. Yeah. I mean, even Steve Martin came to Joe Koy's defense, saying like, this is tough. He's like, I'm still throwing up from when I did the hosting in 2010. Whoopi Goldberg on The View, again, she said like, Joe Koy is one of the best comedians as far as stand-up comedy goes. She admitted that she did not watch the show, but she was like, it's a tough room. You've got to know people. She brings up her old hosting gigs. And then one of her co-hosts, sorry, I have to get her name from my
Sarah.
What's her name? Sarah Haynes. Thank you. Sarah Haynes was like, hey, everybody needs to get a sense of humor because we need laughter.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I agree with them. What are some of the other jokes that you guys may have wanted to talk about?
I didn't get the one about with, oh my God, why her name just
the
left.
Ozempic one was, you know.
The Ozempic one wasn't funny. And the one with, when Devil Wears Prada. And he said Wakanda.
Meryl Streep.
But she always wins. And my mother
Which that
says
was
she
Glenn
always
Close
wins.
in The Devil Wears Prada.
No,
that was Meryl Streep.
That was Meryl Streep.
Oh, okay. I was like, I know I had them mixed up.
Girl, you about to get jokes on that one. Don't be mixing up Meryl Streep Devil Wear Prada now.
Definitely Meryl Streep.
But yeah, I thought the Meryl Streep thing was weird. I was like, okay, I guess that's his way of segueing to Viola Davis.
No, see, and that's the thing. I didn't get a chance to review, to look into it, but I could have sworn she did something, like and again, like I was just.
I know he said for her to do it again.
Yeah, and like
she was referencing something that she had already done
on another video, and she did it like with such.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah, and I think that's what he was poking fun at.
Okay, that does sound familiar. I guess that's also if you're not familiar with what he's referencing, then it's like, well, what? I didn't mind the Ozempic joke.
No, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, like it was just like,
what was that joke?
On Ozempic.
I was
talking about making your butt purple.
Yeah, because it was talking about the color purple.
But wouldn't you have to be on Ozempic to even get it? Like, I just felt like some of his
jokes.
I
don't think you have to be on it. I think all he said was he started talking about the people in the color purple, and he said that's also what happens to your butthole when you take Ozempic. And he was like,
"Oh, did he say butthole? I thought he just said butt,
or maybe butt."
I think he just said butt.
But he was like,
why would your butt be purple? I just
that's why I didn't get it. It went over my head.
But I think you just take that surface like
smaller. And remember, that's what the whole thing was. All of a sudden, when Color Purple came out, Oprah came out very thin. Everybody's like, she's on Ozempic, and so.
But I don't think he was referencing Oprah in that. I think he was just.
He
saying
was
like,
not. He was.
That was
the small. The
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't.
I still don't get that.
You're taking it too literal. He's just it's gonna be a
color.
It's just gonna be a color. Okay, it's a color.
I just looked at it as him saying, like, a lot of y'all are on Ozempic, and you're gonna go home and check and see if what I'm saying is true.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's all he said. Like, half of y'all are gonna go home and be like, I need the selfie stick to see whatever, and that means you're on Ozempic because
I thought it was a reference to Ozempic making you sick in the bathroom. That's what I thought.
I mean, it could because it's
interpretation because we all didn't get it.
No, I agree with Marnita. I think he was just trying to tie in two different things, which was the color purple and going home and checking your butthole.
Okay.
I think it was a reach because like you're thinking of the movie and then he goes on to this Ozempic thing, but it was just like he was just poking fun at
Ricky Those are jokes
on Ozempic. Say what?
Where's Ricky Gervais? I understood his jokes.
Because even when he's bringing in those Oppenheimer and he crosses over to the different movies and he brings in jokes.
And I was like, okay, there's something I'm not getting because he said Oppenheimer. Are you talking about when he went to Saltburn and?
Yes, and he was talking
about the genitals.
Bradley Cooper was like, oh, because Bradley Cooper knows what I'm saying.
Yeah, because I was like, there's obviously something in Bradley Cooper's face.
No, his nose, you guys. He had a prosthetic nose.
Oh, okay.
He had a prosthetic nose.
I didn't see the movies, but I was like, I was like, I know there's something I'm not getting because I didn't see these movies, and that's
that's it. A lot of these movies, a lot of people haven't seen yet.
I think that was part of the problem.
Right. Which I mean, it's like, what else are you going to joke about when you're in a room full of, movie actors? So,
and it's a show about the movies.
Actors.
Don't let the boys show about some movies if you watch 0 movies, Marnita. So like.
His similes and his metaphors were totally off.
The good one was when he kept saying about his mother loving Meryl Streep and him.
And I think he was fan geeking with Meryl Streep, in all honesty. You know, like, oh, if my mom could be here, you know.
I'm sure it feels like my mom.
I think that's what it was with her.
Was I the only one who was uncomfortable with the Robert De Niro joke?
Yeah,
that was. Robert's laughing though. What made you uncomfortable?
Robert De Niro's a pro. He's been doing this for 100 years. He's gonna laugh.
What made you uncomfortable about it?
The whole like being 80 and having getting her pregnant.
Well, don't get somebody pregnant when you 80.
It wasn't like we talked about it. Were you uncomfortable with that?
Good soldiers. Good soldiers.
I'm with you, okay?
I revere Robert De Niro. Like, he's one of our.
I know, and to put his sperm in the same category as an award is just too much.
Well, he
to put his sperm into a 20-year-old.
He's to put his sperm out there. How about that?
He's got some strong soldiers. Go on, Robert D.
Okay, but
all right, moving on.
Go, Marilyn.
But that was a more sensitive joke than the Taylor Swift NFL thing, and he was gracious enough to just laugh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a young, sensitive generation. How dare we say anything remotely negative about Taylor Swift?
Well, then I feel that way about Robert De Niro.
Well, then comedians will not be joking much longer.
He said it was a good performance.
Cannot do.
All right, y'all. That's our time on that one. Entourage, jump in to the conversation. Let us know what you thought about Jo Koy's monologue. What jokes made you laugh? What jokes made you cringe? And don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos.
Did you know who Jo Koy was?
Did you not know?
I did.
I did.
I did not. And I started listening to it and I kept stopping. I'm going, what did you want us to? I said, I can't. And I like,
it was funny.
He's a funny guy. He is a funny guy.
Okay, so check out some of his stuff on Netflix. He has some stand-ups on Netflix.
And it's really
again,
really
it could
funny.
be like they said, Whoopi said, it's the audience, and maybe that just wasn't the forum to really get his funny.
Right. It's like there's so many comedians out there with different styles, and we go to see the ones that we know, right? We usually like watch the specials of the ones that we know. So yeah, when it's somebody we don't know and their style is different, it's like, who are you and what are you talking about? But the second time I watched it, I found it even funnier because I wasn't really like tied to the crowd's reactions. I was just trying to listen to see what jokes he did. But we're going to go on to our next topic, which also happened at the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes red carpet. Of course, everyone's showing off their gowns and doing their little pre-show interviews. And there was a pre-show interview with Oprah where she spoke to ET Online, and she shut down the rumors that there was a feud between her and actress Taraji P. Henson. So just to give a little bit of a backstory, and I'm sorry, y'all, I am going off my notes, and that's why Michelle is trying to keep up with me on the photos. Sorry about that, Michelle. So just to give y'all some backstory, many of you may have heard that Taraji has been in the news lately. She did a radio interview on Sirius XM with Gayle King, who is Oprah's bestie, and she was asked about how she's been vocal about how she was thinking about quitting acting and her struggles with being paid equally. And she kind of broke down and kind of started crying. And while she's talking, she goes into this little speech where she's not being clear of who she's talking about. She says, I've been in the game for 20 years and seeing what you do for another production. And when it's time for me, you say you don't have the money. She did not clarify who this you was. Just be totally transparent. I didn't watch the whole interview. I just kind of watched that clip. So there was that clip. And then about a week before that, there was an interview where Taraji was talking at a SAG-AFTRA discussion panel, and she was speaking with Angelique Jackson of Variety, and she says, I almost turned down The Color Purple over the pay. She thought the pay was too low, and that she wanted to take a stand for her other co-stars. So of course the internet is kind of putting this together. We have a picture of the Color Purple stars here. The internet is putting these comments together, and then they're talking about this video clip. It's a video clip of the cast of Color Purple. They're on a press run. They're at the Empire State Building, and they go up to take a picture on top. And so we've got one of the pictures here of Taraji and Oprah. You can see they're not really embracing. They're just kind of standing there next to each other.
They're not kikiing it.
Yeah.
They look cold.
Oh, thank you.
Which Oprah said. She said we
they
was
look
cold.
cold. Like, I'm cold. I ain't got time to do nothing with y'all.
Exactly. So people
That's
are
what I
putting
took.
that together, and they're like, yeah, they beefing because they, as you can see in the previous picture, they were standing next to each other. Then when other people came into the shot, Oprah moved away. So people are like, yeah, Taraji didn't want to be next to her, and you can, read the body language. And so during Oprah's interview on the red carpet, Oprah shot this down. She was like, look, she's like, I woke up to see that I'm trending. People are talking about me and Taraji. She's like, there's no bad blood there. Taraji will tell you that I've been the biggest champion of this film. And then Oprah says, I'm not in charge of the budgets. That's Warner Brothers. I am a producer. I have a salary. We all have a salary. She's like, Warner Brothers in charge of the budget, but I've been the biggest champion. If someone calls me and says there's something wrong, they need something, I will fight for them. And the interviewer, I'm sorry, let me get his name. Kevin Frazier was interviewing her, and he said, I will vouch for that. I've seen you go above and beyond on productions. I've seen you use your own money to help with things. So, Divas, talk to me. Have you been up on this supposed feud with Taraji and Oprah? Do you think that there's really a feud, or do you think the internet's just kind of building on something that's not there? And do you think that Oprah's explanation was good, or do you think that she was just really trying to backpedal and like get out of taking responsibility?
Why is everything always on Oprah's shoulder? She's not the only top producer on the bill. Isn't it Steven Spielberg, or who is it? Else is also.
Yeah.
And you see he's during zero press. So at least she's doing above and beyond by being in these press photos and all this sort of stuff. He's sitting silently on his millions and doing nothing.
I think she's catching the heat because she is the face. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah,
it's like,
possibly, but it's also not her studio. Like,
no, and that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. Like, I think that the public is seeing it and being like, yeah, well, Oprah ain't doing this for her, and Oprah ain't paying her, and you see she mad at Oprah.
Right. It just goes to prove the point how Black people are more critical of other Black people first before they even try to get the whole scenario together.
I think they're making a mountain over molehill.
About a pay disparity, she can't be putting that on Oprah's shoulders.
No,
and I don't think she is putting it on Oprah.
Even the director Blitz was saying he had to fight for every single actor that was in that movie. That that some of them have their credibility is their credentials are stellar, and still they were giving him a hard time.
They even had some of them had to re-audition.
Right.
They had to re-audition.
They were even saying that they were trying to get Rihanna and Beyonce. I don't know if it's fact, but I read for these roles, and he was fighting for who he picked because they had quote unquote bigger names to draw more people.
Right. I would believe
that
the studios won't want that because they're like, oh, people are going to come see it. But he wanted the integrity of the film.
Right.
Definitely.
And I don't think people are conflating two different issues.
Yes. Yes.
Taraji is not speaking about Oprah. Taraji got a systematic issue of pay disparity Black actors and white actors. She's not talking about. I don't know how we turned it into an Oprah.
You know what? I think part of it is because I've been kind of watching videos on it. People and their clickbait. People are taking this and they're narrating, well, Taraji is mad at Oprah, and see what Taraji said. And then they take the clip of what she said and put it in their YouTube video.
Make their own
So it's like
interpretation.
when you're watching it, it's like, oh, see what Taraji said about Oprah. And it's like, no, she didn't say this about Oprah. She's saying, like you said, Antrese, she's talking about what's been happening to her for the past 20 years. She has not been doing Oprah projects for the past 20 years.
And I also think, Marnita, just to piggyback on that, I think also because she's also talking about Color Purple, it just seems to be, she has the platform to get people who are listening to her. So she's representing all this now. So it's kind of being tied into the Color Purple when it's not really the Color Purple. It's just she's got the platform that she's still fighting for and making sure, people can hear what she's trying to say.
She's just saying Color Purple is one of the movies that
because it's the recent movie that she's in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she decided to kill two birds with one stone and do a press tour and talk about that at the same time. Like, come on.
Right.
Like, of course,
and also, I don't think she just was gonna pass on Color Purple just because of pay. There was other stuff. There was another interview because she also was like, "Why are you gonna remake a classic?" She was also, like, "Why are you gonna remake a classic? Like, this is a classic movie. I don't want you to mess it up." And then she started talking to the people and got a better understanding. Because I also listened to an interview about that where she was saying, it wasn't just about pay. It was also about how are you going to turn this great movie.
She also go to her. She went to them.
She also said that there was her salary from Proud Mary wasn't much different from what they were offering her for Color Purple. And look how long ago Proud Mary was made.
She said she hasn't had a pay raise since Proud Mary, which I think was
welcome to the rest of the world.
She needs a whole new team. What she said she did had to fire them because they didn't.
They didn't provide a budget for her whole team. And
welcome to the rest of the world, where the mother has to fire the babysitter because she can't afford it, and still has to figure out where to put her kid while she's going to work.
Well, 50 said if she would come talk to him, he got her. That's why Mary J. Blige ain't got no issue because she getting paid. Because 50 paid her. I'm just saying that 50 been trying to get at her to come do some stuff for him. I'm just saying. Don't know if that's fact. That's what I hear.
Word on the street is.
Word on the street.
I really don't think that.
I'm sorry.
I don't think there's a beef because this picture here, they seem very chummy. She doesn't seem annoyed that Oprah is touching her.
Right. And I assume they're inside and not as cold as they were on top of the Empire State Building.
Have y'all been on the Empire State Building on top?
No, I didn't want to wait in that line.
The winds are hard.
And they said they had already been like 3 or 4 other stops prior to that. So they've been on this like go in the cold New York. So you get on the top and it's like they might have been the first ones. And like, dude, I've been in the cold. You just be like, don't talk to me. Just let me stand here.
And I think that was more the vibe because it didn't seem like Taraji was chummy with anyone else in the little video clip that I saw. It wasn't like, oh, I'm hugging Fantasia, but me mugging Oprah. It was like, I'm just standing here.
I'm trying to conserve my warmth
so I can go. Yeah.
It's unfortunate that Taraji is choosing this film to talk about.
I agree.
I feel like the topic is now about this, about with the actors got driven to the set, what was happening in their dressing rooms, and instead of it being about the actual movie.
I think it's unfortunate, but we were talking in our offline talk the other day. Somebody had sent a clip that was old of Taraji talking about this. So I think it's just relevant now because she's talking about it again. But this is not the first time that she's talking about it.
Led by Black actresses are starring in it. It's really a story about the empowerment of Black women. There's a Black female producer on it. I just wish she could have let this be about that and talked about this separately. That's what I would.
She could have felt like, if not now,
when? Especially because it is about Black women.
So what do you want us to do about it?
But I don't think she wants us to do it.
She doesn't want us to do it. She's taking a vocal about it. Like
she's calling people out. Let's face it.
When we talk about Harvey Weinstein, what can we do about it? But
Harvey Weinstein went to prison. So
but Antrese, she says in one of the videos, she's like, I'm taking a stand for Fantasia, for Holly, for
people behind
other people in the movie.
I just feel like
I get it.
Talking about the film.
Yeah,
and talking about are Oprah and Taraji feuding. We're talking.
I don't think she meant for it to go that route, though. I think that's
in the moment things happen when you're thinking about like
things that
but it's more than one moment, Lava. She did it in every interview so far. She's been
but you're thinking
more than once. And and Joe, you said, when is the time? How about when Monique was talking about it? She didn't back Monique up when Monique was saying the same thing.
And I agree that I agree. I mean, that's unfortunate too. But then again, but like I said, is Monique, when she did it, nobody wanted to hear her, right? Nobody wanted to hear her. Everybody was saying it's not the time, right? So we're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing about Taraji.
I think people said I'm not giving up Netflix.
Right. Right.
Monique told us what she wanted us to do about
it. Out there. She had to put it out there so people can, at least it's food for thought. It's.
When your spirit tells you to do something, you do it.
Can't talk about this.
Yes,
I'm not saying that Taraji shouldn't talk about this.
I never said that.
Strike where she had an opportunity when people were on picket lines to talk about this. So I'm not saying that she shouldn't discuss it. All I'm saying is I wish The Color Purple could have been about The Color Purple, even if just for the opening 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know if you guys heard it. It had a huge opening and then it fell off completely. Because I think a lot of people were soured to even going to see the movie because of all this negativity that's around it.
Yeah, and I never said she couldn't talk about it. I'm just saying she could have felt that, again, if not now, when? And I do understand it is poor. To me, it is. I agree with you, Andres. It's poor timing. I agree because it takes away from the film. But we can't. This is how this person feels to talk about it now.
I also think when they asked the question, she got emotional. And I don't think that one interview, if I recall correctly, I don't think she was planning on talking about it. It was just, I think that the emotions came up and she wasn't able to stuff them down. And it kind of
the one where she started crying.
Like I think when they were talking, I think that was like an emotional moment, and that's
honestly,
when it came out.
That one, Gayle King asked her about
people not getting like car service. She was talking about
getting protection and not having security.
Right. Yeah, she's come out with a lot more about.
Well, I mean, I know that, but I think that was the first, I believe, and I could be wrong, when that the first discussion was brought up, kind of was an emotional piece,
or
and
the more popular discussion.
Right, and then people keep asking. Right,
and
after
and
that,
on that one, you're right. Like she was emotional, but Gayle King asked her, like, "Hey, I've heard that you have the audacity to say that you might walk away from acting." And so it's like she kind of took a pause and then started crying, and it just kind of came out. And that's when she was saying she wasn't clarifying who she was talking about when she was saying you. She was saying, you tell me you don't have the budget for this, but then you give another project the budget for that. And I think that was, for me, what I saw in different videos. Those were the clips that were taken out of context and people saying, see, look what she said about Oprah. But, again, she was asked and it just kind of came up. But all good points. Entourage, drop in the comments. Again, let us know what you think. Are we missing something on this feud? Because I don't see a feud. I see the internet just sparking rumors. So let us know if we missing something. Anybody out there who knows how movie budgets and production work, that got a little, any other light to shed on there, drop in the comments. Educate us, let us know. Like, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and let me give you my sources for tonight's stories. My sources for the first story were the Golden Globes, KTLA Morning News, the US Sun, the Independent, and E! News Online. My sources for the second story, where we at? ET Online. Say it.
The credits are going. The music is playing.
ET Online, HuffPost, SiriusXM, and Variety.com.
And you forgot to thank your mother and your brothers.
That's Alicia. She be talking to the people in the streets.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like Mama Joyce.
Right.
All right, y'all. Happy 2024. Let us know what you'd like to see us talk more about in the future. And good night.